Okay, I want to say a few more words and get into a little more depth on dead branches, diseased branches, healthy branches in the winter, in the summer, in the fall, seasonal issues in the spring with pollen and things like that. In my previous video, I touched on identifying dead branches, and I want to show you some more tips on how to identify them in different situations and different species of trees. Okay, so let's start with this tree right here. Okay, I showed you this branch and I said, you know, you can see no pine needles, but there's other evidence as well. If you look like this right here, you see this right here? The bark is coming off. That is a sign. You see these holes too? You look out for anything that might have pests, like insects that burrow. They can damage the integrity of the tree. Okay? So if you look, this branch has no pine needles. It's dead. Okay? Let's take a look at another one. This one is not so obvious, but you see right here, the bark is coming apart. Right here, this. It looks okay, and this is a sturdy hold right here. This is fine, it's safe. But if you look out and you look at the branch, you can't tell from this video so much, but it does not have pine needles. Like this one is more obvious. This one that I showed you before, there's no bark whatsoever. This thing has been dead a while. All the bark is stripped off. Okay, this one is just starting to go. See, there's mostly, here's the bark, here's the bare wood, more bark. This is still solid, but you got to be careful. We touched on vision, using your eyes to sense dead branches, identifying no leaves or pine needles, damaged bark, maybe pest infestation, evidence of holes or damage. Okay, but you have other senses like your hearing and feel, your body sense, like kinesthetic, your kinesthetic sense. That's like you can feel the vibrations. That's another reason why the shoes are important, so you can feel the tree underneath your feet. When I step on branches that are dead, you can feel the difference. You'll get to know, the more experience you get climbing, you will feel the branch. It vibrates differently. There's more of a, you'll feel it vibrating because the dead limb is stiffer and it vibrates and it feels different. When you step on it, it kind of lots of times it'll give more. Okay, so you go by the feeling and also the hearing. Sometimes you can hear before a branch completely snaps. If you hear it like snap, crackle, popping, like if you hear any kind of noise like that, like the sound of cracking, snapping, popping, like wood, you know, if you hear that, that's a warning. So when you're climbing, you want to, if there's any kind of, if you have any doubt or question about the stability, the safeness, the solidity of a branch or a limb, you don't want to put your full weight on it. You want to kind of test it by put a little bit of your weight, see how it feels. So you take your time, you put a little weight, put a little more weight, and make sure that your hands can fully support if that branch snaps and your other leg is on something else. So you shift your weight. So if you need to use that hold, you can kind of test it first. You put a quarter of your weight, half your weight on it, see how it feels, see if it's solid. And if it's good, then use it. If you have any doubt whatsoever, find a different route. Find a different hold, find a different branch. If that's the only one you can use, then maybe that's as high as you can go. Maybe you got to find a different tree. So use all your senses, use your common sense, and stay safe.